call Congress and ask about where to put soldiers.
I wouldn't put Trump and George Washington in the same sentence.
I would
that's
because
like,
I would.
That's like God and
they belong. They belong. They're both businessmen who came to office. No political background. Best thing that could ever happen. Look, no one, least of all you, I don't think you and your crowd are going to support the status quo. The status quo is cancerous. Washington is a tumor, is a cancerous, metastasized tumor, killing American ingenuity, spirit, and work ethic, and it's everywhere you look. Why were people available to do opioids? Because they weren't doing anything else. The opioids came in with the big recession. They were sitting home. They didn't find a way.
No,
Americans.
they were pushed on by the doctors, and they were pushed on by the medical companies that made the opioids.
That's a big lie to cover for weak people.
Oh, come on.
Alcoholics and drug addicts are exactly the same. Anything they can get their hands on, they will use because of who they are. It's never the booze. It's never the heroin. It's never the opioid. It's always the person. Because there'd be a person sitting right next to that addict that would never touch that stuff. It's who you are. It's not the substance. It's been around. I mean, opioids, opium is an ancient addictive. It goes all the way back thousands of years. So you're not going to get addiction out of the human experience. Human beings for thousands of years love addiction. What are you going to do? That's who animals are. You get a lab rat and you give him a bunch of cocaine, he becomes a self-destructive.
Yeah.
So we know this. This is not a secret.
You're still not answering the point. What about all the doctors that pushed all the opioid pills on all these people to get them addicted?
That's my point. Doesn't have any effect. I tell the story. I was given opioids in '99. OxyContin was brand new. And the guy said to me, he goes, read the bottle.
But people trust their doctors. That's why they go to the doctors, because they trust what their doctor's knowledge, and they're trying to help them. So if somebody that's your doctor says, take these so you'll feel all right, and you do that and you get addicted, that's not the person's fault. That's the doctor.
No, it is. You're missing it. It's absolutely. It's absolutely. The doctor is not supposed to sit in your living room with you and say to you, how do you feel now? They say on the side of the bottle, long before opioids were there, you think that because opioids is such a big news topic, that's the big deal. The real problem long before opioids was the other one, analgesic, but they gave it to Eric. Codeine. Codeine was all over the place. It's addictive as hell. Addictive as hell. You take 5 codeine, you're going to be looking for number 6. Mm-hmm. It is a powerful. So it's ridiculous. It's a stupid argument. Codeine never became sexy. Opioids did. They wanted to use them to get high. These are people that have problems and find a toothache or a backache the luck of an addiction. They're lucky they liked the whiskey. They're lucky they liked the drug. It says on the side, long before you had opioids, this is a heavy, be careful, habit forming was a word before I was born. Habit forming, that's it. If you're a moron, you ignore it. If you get caught in it, you deserve it. You deserve to be a drug addict. You deserve to be an opioid addict. That's who you are. That's what you are. You can't make society responsible.
I highly doubt that they say on a pill bottle that these pills are addictive.
Check it. It's a law. It's been a law since my childhood. What is wrong with you? Don't know anything about a schedule on a drug? These are regulated drugs, every one of them. There's no drug that millions of Americans take that is not scheduled. And you're going to tell me with a straight face, any medication in your lifetime hasn't come with paperwork? They give you a half a book now. You go to Walmart for amoxicillin, costs you $3. You get $5 worth of paperwork. That's the world you're in. Wrong to say any drug company did nothing wrong to anyone. The people that are hungry for booze find a bar. The people that are hungry for drugs find them. It's a lot of
See,
drugs.
the problem with you, Ed,
Yeah.
is you're going around in circles right now. I just explained to you that the drug company pushes the opioids
No
on
such
the
thing.
doctors,
There's no
gives
such
them
thing.
deals.
Yeah, the point
And
is,
then the doctor.
it doesn't matter. Do you
Right.
understand? If a doctor comes
does matter.
it doesn't. You're wrong. You're look.
Because that's your system, capitalism. It's all about money. My system is about caring people, giving people a fair shot in
Yeah,
life,
there's no.
and making
you
sure the
can't.
whole country is
There's your
successful.
problem. There's your
If
problem.
my kid is sick,
There's your problem. You can't give a drug addict a fair shake. An opioid addict doesn't get anything. An opioid addict should be ostracized from society and puke out on the side of the road, wake up in the gutter, and beg the next day, please take me in and stop me from hurting myself. You
know,
don't
as
blame anybody.
Bernie Sanders might be a Jew, and I'm a Christian and a Catholic.
Yeah.
But you know what? What he said in my speech, and this is what, not even just AOC, but this is what really got me excited and really made me cry. Because Bernie stated at the end of the speech, he said, if my kid is hurt, then you should be worried about my kid. If your kid is hurt, I should be worried about your kid.
Right.
And that's what Jesus Christ taught us.
Right, but
That's
everybody,
what it
right. You're not wrong.
Your side
You're not
doesn't
wrong.
believe that, and my side does. And
Listen.
that's what the problem with this country is. And your side, you
So
guys,
sad.
and evangelical
You're gonna grow-
Christians,
you know,
they
one
run
day-
around
one
and
day-
say, oh,
yeah, one
we're
day,
so
right,
Christian.
right.
We want to
One
help
day-
people.
yeah,
and
listen.
they're just a bunch of liars.
Here
They
you
don't
go.
care about anything
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
money.
Listen,
Give me a break.
Absolutely. You know, my little 8-year-old in the family says the same thing about the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus. He threw the same tantrum as you. You can't tell me that's not true. You can't tell me. And that's what you sound like. You sound like an 8-year-old. You can't tell me people are bad. You can't tell me people are mean. You can't tell me people are lazy. We can tell you for sure. We've been here long enough to see people are lazy,
Isn't
people
that
are
what Jesus
dishonest.
Christ taught us when he was on earth?
Do you
Jesus
understand?
taught us to
Do you-
care for the sick. Jesus taught us that you should be caring
that's
about
fine.
your kids, but also the other person's kids.
Yeah, well,
that's
you're
what
covered.
a Christian means.
You're covered. You're covered. We gave you First Amendment. What more do you need? You're the first mention in the First Amendment. If you need more than that, then you are a fraud. If you can't make it off the First Amendment, you suck as a religion, okay? You're nowhere. You're a failure. You're a zero. You're a big zero. You got a First Amendment. You got a First Amendment. You can practice any kind of cockamamie worship that you want. Hasn't done anything. The ghetto. Check out the ghetto on Sunday morning. Ghetto churches are full, and ghetto funeral parlors are full on Saturday night. What church ever stopped a shooting in the history of mankind? Show me what church ever stopped a shooting
Can't
in a
say
bad
that
neighborhood.
though. That's racist. That's a racist statement.
What are you talking about?
cannot talk like that.
Long before the ghetto was black, the ghetto was other things. Were the same poverty. It causes the same death. There's
And that was still
there's
racist.
nothing
Whether
to
it was racist against
No,
Italians,
it doesn't matter.
blacks, or Irish. It's a racist statement.
That's what I'm saying. You're missing the point. Listen to what you just said. If it's racist for all of those groups, then racism doesn't mean anything because they all have the same problem. Poverty causes laziness, causes crime, causes violence, causes theft, fills up jails. They're not worth saving. You know who's worth saving? The guy who's begging on his knees that he was wrong. If you renounce. You have to renounce who and what you are. But that's the problem with your opioid victims. They're all victims. They were victims before they ever got a pill in their mouth. They're just bad people. Now, you could feel sorry for them, you and Jesus, and then me too. I don't mind giving them pity. I won't give them anything else, though. They'll get pity, but nothing else. They will not be enabled. And we were taught, and I think it's true today, but we were taught, you don't enable an alcoholic. You don't. You can feed them. You bring an alcoholic a dish of food, and you put your arm around them. But you don't enable. You can't enable. You can't enable. You can't. No. You have to help them a cold turkey it. That's what you can do. You want to help an opioid person, you stay with them, you move in, you cold turkey them out. If they pass out and have a heart attack, you call 911 for them. But it's a walk through hell that people you look at the experience of mankind. Nobody's really succeeded with this in thousands of years. It's just the way it is. The opium plant has been sedating people, putting them under addiction for years. It's not going to change. Every time they find a new opioid, they're going to take it because of who they are. You and I didn't want, when I took one OxyContin, I knew it was toxic. I didn't wait. I listened. I paid attention. It was okay for me to be in pain. It was dental pain. What's going to happen if you have a back pain? You're not going to die from back pain. You don't need to be a pussy. You don't need to stop every pain. So you get what you deserve. You try to stop every pain. You say to the doctor, oh, man, this hurts. Give me what you got.
Well,
Give me the... So you get what you deserve. You people deserve addiction when they get addicted. There's no secret addiction. There's no... It happened to me addiction. America is a place of choice. You choose alcoholism, you choose heroin, you choose fentanyl, you choose opioid.
Yeah.
You get an opioid and you say, oh my God, I want another one. You call somebody the first time you want another one, go, what's happening, pharmacy? What's happening, doctor? I want another one. They will tell you, oh my God, come right in. Come right in. What do you, but you're saying, oh no, the doctor's a piece of dirt. I know you. You hate the doctor. That's why you like government health care. You don't respect any professions. Right away, the profession of doctors is the villain, not the stupid-ass addict. It's a stupid-ass addict, dude. Don't blame anybody for being a stupid-ass addict. You're a stupid-ass addict. If you're an addict in rehab, you're not a stupid-ass addict. You're a good person. But you're an addict. You're a stupid-ass addict. If you're being an addict, there's nothing good about you. You're not a good father in spite of your addiction. You're a lousy everything because your addiction. You're giving in to your addiction. It doesn't matter how powerful it is. What are you, a pussy? Take the heat. They don't, so they're not worth it. So don't talk to me that I'm supposed to care. I will give them pity. Like any other broken, disabled, you're missing limbs, you're deaf, you're blind.
What the problem is?
Tell me.
With your man
what's the problem? Tell me what the problem is. Tell me what the problem is. Yeah.
The difference between him and Bernie, and we've seen it in this speech too on Saturday.
Yeah.
Bernie knows how it is to grow up in poverty and get his way out of it.
That's it.
Trump doesn't know
he didn't get his way
about
out of it.
poverty.
What didn't get his way? He didn't get his way out of it. He didn't get his way. He didn't
even want to do it. He got a deferment. He said bone spurs. Bernie is a guy that's been through the ringer. He knows what it means to live in a red-filled apartment.
Bernie's been on the public payroll. He's been on the public payroll his whole life. He doesn't know. He doesn't know anything about working for a living. He's gotten all ill-gotten gain. It's all ill-gotten gain. It's all ill-gotten gain. All ill-gotten gain. It's all ill-gotten gain. It's all ill-gotten gain. He's put nothing in. He's aggrandized himself. He's an old barf bag. No one thinks he'll get elected to anything.
He hasn't paid any taxes. Zero.
That's what I like. That's my kind of guy. That's my kind of guy. I hate paying taxes. Anything you can do to avoid taxes. Absolutely.
I have to pay taxes when some rich scumbag like Trump, he's a piece of crap.
Right.
He doesn't want to pay for anything.
Right.
And then I have to pay for taxes for my fire department, the same fire department he uses, the same police department he uses, the same EMS services he uses.
Right.
But he doesn't want to pay for it.
Absolutely not. He shouldn't have to pay. You don't contribute anything to society. The guy contributes everywhere he goes. He does business. You're just another hanger-on. You're another hanger-on parasite that criticizes the achievers. What do you know about anything? You haven't achieved anything. You're like a little squirt in the back seats. Look, the game is not to impress you. The game is not there for you. You choose to be a fan, but you're not in the game. If you're crying about being an opioid victim, you're not in the game. If you need socialism to bail you out, you're not in the game. You're not in the game. You're not in the game. You know what? Thank God my crowd likes money and
can't answer it.
My crowd loves money and guns. I will bet on money and guns every time in the history of mankind. They never lose. Money and guns never lose. And I don't care about who loses. I'm not here to worry about the losers. There's too much focus on pain, victim, and losers. It's time for the steamroller to come and squeeze out all the fat. It's time to iron out all the waste and fat, all the people not doing, everybody who's like, your point earlier, I think there should be a penalty on your taxes for your weight. Whatever your weight is, you should pay extra taxes because you're fat, you're disgusting, you're a bad example to other people, and you cost me a fortune every time you can't catch your breath. Every time you're having a heart attack, you're costing me money. I'm sick of you. You're disgusting. If you're not in good shape.
So we'll blame it on the people. Why
Absolutely.
We're going to blame it on
We're going to blame it on exactly. We're going to blame it on exactly. We're going to look. You blame it
because they're cheap.
You got to blame everybody who's weighing you down. Everybody who's weighing the country down.
That's really disgusting.
Listen, you know what? Whatever. Who cares what adjectives? Who cares? Whatever. Disgusting is fine. That's okay. I don't mind disgusting. Disgusting from your crowd is fine. You know what's disgusting? I know what bothers you. I know what the mind of the socialist is. The reason for socialism is there's a despair that you can't beat the smart people. You don't know what they know. You don't think like they do, but you know they worked out the game, and you know you don't know that game. So what you want is you want their game broken. You want their game. You want their game. Listen, I love their game. Their game has built Rome, Greece, and Western civilization. Your stuff started when everybody got scared of machines in the 1800s. Your thoughts you have, your Bernie thought, that didn't even exist as a real thing until there was terror. That people when the noise. You know what it was? It was the noise.
People are against
it was the noise of the gears. You didn't like.
How come you go? Why do you use the fire department, the police department, the school system? You went to public school, Ed. That's a socialist program.
I did not know. Maybe.
Social Security. So you use all that stuff. So how can you be against it?
Yeah, right. Maybe I sound like I went to public school, but believe it or not, my parents wouldn't be caught dead in 1960 of putting me in one of those cesspools because we had.
Come on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What do you know? We had knifings and murders galore for heroin.
So you went to you never went to public school, K through 12.
Never. Zero. From day one. Kindergarten, all the way through graduate school. All the way. Zero. So we believed in education. I told the story. You probably didn't hear it. They had to put together, the parents in my day used to put single dollar bills in a yellow envelope when you brought your tuition in on the first Monday. Every kid came in with this little envelope. It was small. It's a cash envelope from the bank, but it was the school's envelope, and it was $28 a month to have us in school. So that's what kind of people they were. I mean, you guys would melt. You'd all be on opioids if you had to deal with that crowd. They'd scare the hell out of you. They were so tough. They were tough as nails. Like another one I love. See, you look at the current Saturday night massacres in Chicago, Detroit. You just pick your city. Now you look at us. Again, they were dirt poor, but the mothers got down and scrubbed the tenement front stoop. This wasn't even their own stoop.
Right.
Because they wouldn't live in dirt. They had character. So now when it looks dirty and it's filthy, and Trump says it's full of rats, and it's been full of rats since I was a kid. These rats are older than you. The rats are older than you. So when that persists, it doesn't matter what you want. Doesn't matter what the good witch Glenda told you. Doesn't matter anything. What matters is, are you going to put a stop to it? And they don't. Then they say, well, make it a political issue. You stop it for me. You stop it for me. City council, stop it. County commission, stop it. State legislature. You're not going to get that. There's no such government that's going to make you a responsible person. You can't. They can't lift you out of poverty. Anyway, whatever. Go ahead.
I believe that people, that's true. You know, you look at some of the cities and these people, don't, treat their house or the area.
Absolutely. Right.
But the reason why, hold on, the reason why is because there's no opportunity. They go home, they sell drugs. They go and work for $7.25 an hour. They know they can't make anything out of it. They can't rise above it because they're in that kind of area, because they're working that kind of job. It doesn't matter how many hours.
So what do you want society to do? If their jobs? If the job, yeah, if the yeah, so, whoa, time out, no. Hey, look, you know what? Honestly, go ahead.
If we make Medicare for all, people will stand up and fight for America. They will want to.
Look, you're missing the point. Anybody,
they will want to give back to their community and be successful in life, and that's how we turn this country around. And that's how we make a better United States of America. And the only man that's running for president of this United States is Bernie Sanders, and he's the only one that can get that job done because of the polls, because of what he's done in his years in the Congress, in his years in the Senate, fighting for working class values. And he's the only one.
Well, he's lost every fight. He's lost. Yeah, he's lost every fight. If you listen to him, he never lists anything he's accomplished. Well, listen to him. Every speech is a list of what's not done. He never demonstrates to you his success. He doesn't point to anything.
Well, he never was president of the United States.
Whatever. I mean, he's been around forever. He doesn't point to anything. I mean, he doesn't even have anything to mention. He doesn't say, I've demonstrated my ability to get it done. He hasn't gotten anything. He keeps saying, I was right about the Iraq war. I'm right about the rich. But anybody,
if he hasn't got anything done,
anybody can say, but anybody.
If he hasn't got anything done, he wouldn't have been a congressman. He wouldn't have been elected to Senate.
But look,
he wouldn't have won 23 states and over 13 million votes in 2016 for the Democratic nomination, which he got rightfully screwed, and he would have been president of the United States right now.
Look, I
don't buy that BS, Dad. I'm sorry.
Even that's a weak point for him. The fact that he let them bamboozle him shows he's weak and a failure. That was his moment. If he was going to save America, he needed to not get run over in a year where she was under suspicion for email. In a year where he said he had a crazy psychopath running against him. That was his year, and he blew it. If you can't beat a psychopath and a woman under investigation, then you really suck. So I wouldn't point that out. I wouldn't be using any reference out of that. Come on, man. What has to happen? Let me ask you something. What has to happen? What has to happen for him to actually get it? If that wasn't the perfect storm, you got a crazy Republican, you got an institutional rig job against you. You're on the media every day. What is ever going to be an easier way for him to win? Now you got a reelected president coming on the scene. He's been there, and you got her long gone. So what is it? What happens now? How does the world change? The world doesn't look any different, and there's been a lot of change for him. Doesn't look any different at all. You're telling me now he's stronger now than he was when he had those two? Yeah. That's insane. Come on, whatever. I mean, I'm sure it feels good, but he's a loser. He's a loser. He's going down, and he doesn't mind. He's 100. He's 100. When he was laying on the floor, wondering if he was going to die or not, he knew then he's not going to be president. He could keep this campaign up. If he thought he was really going to get elected and he was laying on the floor, then he would have done the right thing and say, look, I can't go on. But he knows he's never getting elected to anything nationally, so he might as well run out the string. Sure. Yep. All right, man. What else? Yeah, okay. Yep.
We're going to get practice out.
I'm losing you there with the audio. I'm losing you on the audio. So let me try and rehab that for you. Oh, my God. I watched him over the weekend. I mean, and that crazy AOC. This is another one, man. You know, who wants a young person looking for welfare? Where is the imagery of I'm young, I'm full of piss and vinegar, and I want some damn freebies because you old people don't deserve what you have? I mean, who can be proud of that? How is that past the potatoes for Thanksgiving? I mean, do you really want a kid around? Honestly, is that healthy to have a kid around who's down on all the hard work and sacrifice that generations have made simply because they're unsatisfied? Is that what the negative vibe, the snarky looks, the anything to start an argument, attitude, chip on the shoulder? Is that what that's about? Because it looks that way. It's very unseemly. We used to love sitting around listening to what these older people were saying. Now, since you make fun of their expressions, you maybe want to mock, their speech pattern a little bit, but you were still listening because these weren't pieces of garbage. These were actually people who lived lives. You were in their home. You were having Thanksgiving in a home that, they've been living in for 20, 30, by the time you come along, maybe 35 years. They got pictures on the wall of long before you ever came along. And I don't ever hear anybody teaching respect for that. You know what your grandparents had to go through to get this house? Or parents saying, what we went through to hold on to this. We almost lost the house twice. Illness, business collapse. Your father's company suddenly moved out of town. That happened to my dad's company once. He got a notice, I think, 10 days before. And we'll relocate you. And my dad's like, what are you talking about? I don't even know where this place is that you're going. See ya. So ordinary people were not plug and play. They weren't, okay, they had roots. So that's all admirable. That's all something. When we were kids, I don't know, we actually loved that. When you sat in your uncle's chair or in their TV room, everybody's in the kitchen, right, having food, you get into that living room. That's all yours. You sit in that room, get in a comfy chair, try to put on the TV with no volume. Nobody knows that you're watching the game. This is magical because they built all of this. Now today it's held with disdain. Nothing's any good. Like, why should I like that? Why should I care? What's wrong? Why should you like that? Have you started to see how hard it is to make the living? To build a roof that stays over you so that anybody could depend on it? Like a kid being able to depend. Yeah, all of this comes from grown-up attitudes. All this, you're not going to do much for your kids as an opioid addict. So pathetic. Full-time alcoholic. You're in the bar there at 2 o'clock and 1 o'clock in the daytime. You're knocking back shots. That's not about you. You're damaging other people's lives. So it's not like that. Yeah, none of these things are new. These things have always been around. But it used to be 1% scorned. Used to be frowned upon, ostracized, don't look that way. Keep going. Stay on the right path. Don't be distracted. Make sure you don't run afoul of what we all know is the right thing. This is your home. This is our last name. This is your father. This is your mother. They will be here 10 years from now at the dinner table. You'll be, what are you now? 12? When you're 22? Same day. Yeah. How about that? Oh, unthinkable. Oh, that's ridiculous. That doesn't. No, you're ridiculous. No, deconstructing it was ridiculous. No, making it scarce. That was ridiculous. It was beyond ridiculous. It's worthy of ridicule for sure. But it was also debilitating. Another nice word. It was stupefying. It stupefied people. Those chicken wings are fried, but they're not stupefied. Yeah. So, one thing I always say about Rob, it's fascinating to me that he likes Bernie, and you hear he's inspired by the guy. But what I love about a caller like Rob and he calls a lot, and people go, "Oh my God, you go off." I think it's great. He brings up almost every. I don't remember him bringing up a dud issue. His opinions are crazy. His Bernie love is off the chart interesting at his young age. I mean, he does represent that crowd of Bernie kids back in 16. Even Trump used to talk about it when he was first starting to catch on. He would always recognize that the Bernie fervor was palpable like his. Everybody else is like a big fake. I mean, Hillary would try to have a crowd and nobody would show. Biden couldn't even get people to the pizzeria. Here's a guy thinks he's odds-on favored to win, and his announcement at a downtown Wilmington pizzeria, there was room. There was extra room at the announcement. They couldn't fill the place. Couldn't fill a pizzeria. Then you turn on a Trump rally. He's got like 15,000, 20,000 people in an arena, and they're shouting, going nuts. And you know why? A total connection. Hate the media. You know, nobody likes the media. Why would anybody like the media? Who's going to volunteer what's any good about the media? Any good the media does now, news media we're talking about. Recipes are not media. Recipes are recipes. No, Ed, media is everything. That's the problem with words. We're making every word into everything, and then the word doesn't matter anymore. So if it's everything, why mention it? Well, then what point is that anymore if it really fades from its something into its everything? What did the guy say yesterday? It was a great interview on CBS this morning. And they were talking about, oh, sure, I guess now it's a big business. You go to a house for entertainment that is set up for you to solve a mystery. And you pay like $30 and a bunch of people go in there. And guys, it's catching on all over the place, blah, blah, blah. And then the guy says, yeah, but after you do it once, it's really hard to get people to come back. And I go, wow. All this is on the news. Oh, this is like a big deal. And you do it once, and that's it? And a guy says, yeah, after you do it once, it's hard to get people to come back. I said, no, how did this get on the news? I mean, is this on Oops, We Made a Mistake feature? Or is this something we're highlighting because we think this is successful? They have nowhere to go? And then the guy says, no. All of us here at CBS News, we went to one where there was a bomb going off, and we had to stop the bomb. And everybody goes, ooh, did you stop the bomb? He goes, no, we didn't stop the bomb. The bomb went off. You say, well, this is what he's come up with? This is this is terrific. It's catching on. I said, it sounds like it sucks. I'd rather go play paintball than do this stupid crap. Oh, no, this is fantastic. And the guy says, yeah, no, it's pretty good. After they do it, it's kind of hard to get people to come back. Yeah, well, then they know how it's... Wow. Okay, if this is what we're doing, you know where this is going to wind up. You know how this is going to end. This won't be pretty when it wraps up, will it? It won't be. And that's what they're telegraphing, right? They're like, forget it. We're going to lose anyway. We might as well surrender like that guy John Hurt did in that movie 1984. Why don't you just surrender? Why don't you just say, okay, wash my brain. Okay, whatever you want me to think. Okay, what do you want me to do? Okay, oh no, I'll get my health care from, where should I get it? Oh, the government? Oh, sure, right next door to a motor vehicle. It'll be a Department of Motor Vehicle and government health care. Get in line. It'll look. You think the VA was bad? This will be the VA times 10 because the VA suffered from the same problem. You can't have all of these diverse people, locations, and conditions all funnel into the same thing. You're going to screw these people. If you're going to have a system that addresses them, you are going to have a really big system and a better. No one's ever liked any of the big systems in American government. Zero. None of them have ever had a good reputation, ever. Like from the people who use them. And then we get the scandals. Oh, every couple of years you got to get on the 7 o'clock news. They hit you out of nowhere. It was revealed today in Washington that for the past 13, and then they give you some disgusting amount of fraud and graft and corruption, and you would like to throw the television right through the window. If there wasn't somebody outside, you'd be tempted. You'd be like, what? Why do I bother? What am I doing? Why am I working for these clodhoppers? Why am I just turning over my income? What am I doing? What am I, some kind of, what do they call it, juvenile work farm? Yeah, it's like being on a work farm. You will do this. You will give us that. And then we control. It'll be like this. Knock, knock. We control the doctors now. Is that right? Oh, yeah, all the doctors work for the federal government. That's it now. Wow, every doctor is a government employee. Well, kind of, sort of. They're registered vendors. Same thing. See, you're the only game. Yeah, we're the only game in town now. This is what everybody meant over the years. Single payer. You heard of single payer? Big brother. That's right. We make the rules. We make the payments. We give out the medicine. Mess with us, you go broke, you die, just like before we came along. You might remember before we came along. I'm not getting the care. I can't afford my medicine. I can't afford a doctor. I can't find a doctor. My doctor dropped me. The medical practice closed. They don't want me. I couldn't pay the... we went to the hospital for an emergency. We got a $27,000 bill, and now we're... So this is going to change how? This is not going to change. You're going to talk to the same bureaucrat you're talking to right now. Yeah, the same answer you're getting right now. Why? Because nobody can guarantee how much medicine a population is going to use next year. How many broken bones, how many Band-Aids, how many stitches, how much brain surgery, how much optional... LASIK. What happens to optional surgery? When we all go into Medicare and all that, people want to go on their own initiative for their own health. Where's that going to come from? Oh, I'm sorry. All the doctors are tied up. We have it's all one system now. Now all the doctors are in one system, one availability. And the enemy of all of this are these rich people, right? It's always about the terrible rich people, what they've done to us, the rich people, what they've taken from us, the rich people own it. Every time a rich person anywhere in the world has a leading edge ailment or needs a leading edge therapy, zoom into JFK, zoom into LAX, zoom into... O'Hare, Atlanta, they're here in no time. South America, boom. Asia, boom. Doesn't matter from where. They come from everywhere. Why? Because it's their health, it's their life and death, and they don't want to die. And they have a lot of money. So if you have a lot of money and you don't want to die, where do you think you go? You think you go to some other country? Or do you go, which way, United States? Which way, America? So how did America get there? Oh, it's a nasty capitalism, dog-eat-dog thing. But it's got the best heart surgeons, the best. Best brain surgeons, the best. Best equipment, technology is off the hook. It's incredible what they have. It's a nasty capitalism. They're backstabbing racists. They don't want to defend the Kurds. They hate everybody who's not white. They hate everybody who's not... Say, really, how could such an evil culture have such excellent surgeons and medicine and all this? I don't know. It's nasty, dirty, filthy, backstabbing capitalism. See, that's horrible. I can't imagine it. No, but there's always a breakthrough. Every miracle comes from over there. Every invention comes from over there. They got a thing. In one day, there's no Facebook. Next week, there's 1 million people on Facebook. The place is magical, but it's nasty, disgusting capitalism. It's all backstabbing. It's all racist. It's all sexist. It's all anti-women. It's anti-every nationality. It's anti-immigration, anti-immigrant. It's anti-foreign. It's anti-everything. Although, you go to any major city, everybody, a Department of Motor Vehicle has 22 languages. It's such a racist, capitalist, disgusting country that if you want a driver's license in New York, you can go in there and Farsi, take the exam. You go in and you speak only, Mandarin, of course. Come on. It's, Mandarin's replacing French as the tough, necessary language of international commerce. Years ago, people go, look, I'm taking Spanish. It's the easiest. They go, what about French? Oh, it's too hard. What about German? Oh, what are you, crazy? Now today, Mandarin. Got to have Mandarin. Why? We say so. That's because we decided that. Don't you know about the Trans-Pacific Partnership? And say, no, what the hell are you talking about? Mandarin is what you need. So I don't want that. Well, then you're not going to get your state health care, your government education. I want free college. Well, you better study Mandarin. You better be studying Swahili. By the way, we'd like to incentivize Western wealth into corners of the world. So you'll be taking obscure languages now because we'd like to engineer you down there or up there or over there, around over. But that's what we'd like you to do. So what are you talking about? What about my free? Oh, you have no free choice. Don't you understand? One health care. And by the way, free. You want free college? Yes. Well, then we tell you what to study. What do you know about what to study? We're the government. We're trying to give you a job. You want a job? Yes. Well, then shut up and take what we're telling you. I don't want to take what you're telling me. Well, it's not private anymore. It was nice when you were paying for it. You decide what you want. But now somebody else is paying for this. You're going to take what we're giving. Say, well, that doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good to you because you've been doing it the old way for so long. So everything that was done the old way is out. Everything's out. Artificial intelligence is everything. Computer decides everything for you. You don't know. You don't remember what's good for you, how many calories you should eat. Did you have any green vegetables today? What about your yellow vegetables? What about your tubers? What kind of protein did you have? You can't have any meat. Do you know that? Or you know what day it is? You know what month it is? A vegetarian this. Can't have that. It's got to be plant-based. So I don't want plant-based. Well, you got to have it anyway. What do you want? Do you want to get fed? Yes. Well, then you eat this. I don't want to eat that. Well, we didn't ask you what you want to eat. When we were doing it that way, you were crying a blue streak. Oh, I'm terrible. I can't afford to buy my own food. I can't even find a cheap supermarket. I can't even make it on Aldi. You can't make it on Aldi? If you can't make it on Aldi, I mean, even in Europe, they make it on Aldi. Come on, you can make it on Aldi. Can't make it. Can't do it. Can't fight my way out. 3 generations, the guy writes. I mean, how does your hand not fall off? How do your fingers agree to type that? 3 generations? I mean, there's got to be a limit, no? I mean, shouldn't there be that? That term should be limited, right? I don't know. I don't know what's going to be the answer. I know we should be working on it. It's like NASA when they would get up there and something would blow up on one of these. The tank would go. The readings are upside down. Nobody knows what the answer is. You got to work on it. You got to get in there and try to imagine something. You can't just let the thing go. It is valuable to us. It sounds that way. I don't. Is that the lesson? Maybe I'm not listening carefully enough. You could be right. Is that what it is? It's really not important because we tried a decade of that, right? We de-importantized everything. Nothing matters. There's no credential that matters. No expertise that matters. Everything's fallible. I get that. I've seen that approach. It does lack a bit of discernment. Yeah, a little lack of commitment on that. Well, nothing's any good. It's like your uncle. You say, well, we got to eat something. I mean, what are we going to do? Keep driving around here? Let's just go to Red Lobster and be done with it. Well, I don't want seafood. Great. I'm sure they have some kind of chicken. Everybody's going to be eating seafood in there. Say, what is this? I should be getting the message you don't want to go eat. Is that what it is? Would you rather just go, let's go see a movie? Instead of going back and forth where you keep vetoing what you don't like. You know people like this. They do it all the time. Nah. You can tell from the first nah that nothing's going to work with them. They're not going to get nothing. They will agree to nothing. And you will be like the normal one saying, well, so how do we accommodate you and make this happen? Or maybe I'm just going to catch the 748 and get out of here. Maybe this was a mistake. You want to say to people sometimes, yeah, maybe the whole thing is a mistake. It's possible that this grand deal, that it was a mistake. Can't be. I think one of the great questions you look at Trump, you look at the impeachment and all the psycho screaming and hyperbole. I think one of the most fascinating questions, as a matter of fact, our guest today, I think she'd be great. I tried to get a couple of good ones for her, and I think we did. But this would be another one. Her, you know who's good on this? Jen Koken. Another one. She's funny, smart, but this is worth asking. Isn't it possible that people are ungovernable after a certain amount of time? You had your Greeks, your Romans, your Renaissance, you got now. And if you look at these things, you go, wow, better, amazing, oops, not so good. Oops, really not so good. Oh, my God, it looks like... I don't know how you avoid that. Here we go. Death rate on opioids. Highest opioid death rate, 2017. 2017, West Virginia, Ohio, D.C., New Hampshire, and Maryland. There's your big ones. Now, that's 5 states. That's 5 states, and the District of Columbia, I think, is also highly rated there. So it's not everywhere. It's not everybody. It is concentrated in certain areas. Right. There's certain populations did not go for the opioid crisis. They didn't go for opioids all the time. Take opioids before work in the morning, opioids after dinner, opioids before bed, another opioid. It's wearing off, take it a little sooner. Any individual who cares knows what that means. Oh, my God, I'm taking a ton of these pills. What the hell is wrong? This can't be good. My kidneys, my liver, this is not going to be healthy. I don't have any ailments right now, and I'm taking pills like on a regular basis. Yeah. You can't even do that with Advil. I don't know if you guys had experience with this. I had Advil. Our good friend, Matt from Illinois, whom I love, great guy. Matt is writing today on Facebook about his kidney stones, and God knows I know exactly what he's talking about. I've had them twice. So when they occurred the second time, I mean, the first time, any anomaly, you don't know. They pass quickly with me. Some people, not so lucky, can take days and days, but mine show up and are out by the end of that day twice. But the second time I went and said, look, what the hell is going on? That's the second one. The guy says, how much Advil do you take? He goes, I found a lot of ibuprofen. I said, well, you know, I use it whenever. And he goes, well, I think you're using not just way too much. He goes, do you ever use, he knew, your Advil when you've had alcohol so that when you wake up in the morning you don't have a hangover, a headache? I go, oh, yeah, I do that a lot. He goes, very preventive. He goes, that's what's making your kidney stones. He goes, the alcohol and the ibuprofen are hitting your kidney at the same time, crystallizing. He goes, you're going to keep getting these. And he says, all you have to do is stop. I said, wow, I had no idea that they would interact. He goes, knock it off, you'll be fine. Never had another, and never, didn't do it a little, didn't do it one more time. Just said, oops, had no idea. Stopped taking Advil before a night of partying and entertainment. So life isn't that complicated. You can make it complicated, and you can throw every difficult issue, you can throw that up into the public dialogue. Oh, I have, acid reflux. Get that out there. Because, well, there's advertising, so it must be good to talk. It's crazy. That's not something you need to talk about in public at all. That's something you need to pay attention to for you. You should be able to go, whoa, what the hell? Oh, that's acidic. Oh, wow. What am I eating? Oh, wow. Wipe out my current diet. Bring it back one ingredient at a time. You're done. Why would you have to tell anybody about that? Oh, no, it's a big topic. I want to go to chat room. I loved our guest today because she's an author. And I love authors because authors are the kind of people that just want to share it with you. They found something interesting. They want you to know about it. But I have to say, the amount of self-help books about acid reflux has really been insulting over the last 10, 15, 20 years. I mean, it is really so dumb that we keep telling people it's okay to be dumb. We understand why you're here. We're not saying to people, you are being an idiot. You have to recognize symptoms as soon as you notice them and do something about it. And if they are not debilitating you, you're going to have to let your body have some pain and give your body a chance to repair itself once in a while, and not run over to CVS and, oh, I need this, and call your doctor, so telling your doctor what scripts to write for you. People are insane. That's not normal. That's not a way to, and it's not, you don't find people living like this anywhere but here. Only with this kind of